every parent should also involve your kids in traveling. Or I ignored my family for many years because I was so into my job. Yeah, we're men. Yeah, we want to be providers, but we still freaking human.
Welcome to the 200% Life Podcast, Season 3. We are having an amazing season so far. If you didn't catch the last episode, you missed out. But it's not going to compare to the one we're going to have today because we get better every single time. Don't forget to subscribe, like all of our channels, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Just get it all. Watch it at your parties on the big screen, whatever you want to do. But today I have a very special guest, a true gentleman. We always enjoy drinking great spirits together. Always. And I've known him for a very long time. I think it's going on to 10 years. 10 years, something like that. 8 to 10 years, 8 to 9 years, yeah. Right there. And great real estate professional here in the Central Florida area. Glad to call my friend, Mr. Mike Perez. Welcome to the show. Cheers to you, McAllen 12.
Salud,
I always pop
brother.
out the good stuff
Always,
when you come
in. Good spirits to be in good spirits.
Good spirits. Cheers. So let's touch base in. And I'm excited because, I've been doing this podcasting for a little bit, and you just embarked on that journey.
Yes.
And with Mi Gente Podcast. And I'm very excited. I've been watching all your episodes. It's been amazing. And we're just getting started.
Yeah, man. It's been a good journey so far. You guys kind of pushed me to doing it.
Yeah.
And it feels great, man. It feels great. You explore another portion of yourself.
Yeah,
and others,
Therapeutic.
Yes, it is actually.
It's therapeutic.
She
right?
mentioned that. I know Gia had mentioned it was there, and actually really is. You know? With my folks, that was actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's fun. It's good.
So catch that Mi Gente Podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about it towards the end of the podcast here, but do catch the Mi Gente Podcast and all the platforms. It's produced by Paul Media Lab. Our amazing Lele is the producer for that show.
Follow, and share, and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. But for my viewers, because now you're my platform, right?
Yes.
We're going to cross collaborate here. Who is Mike Perez? Tell the viewers, who is Mike Perez?
Mike Perez, man, I'm all about just love, man.
Love it.
Just love, just be a genuine person, as genuine as you can be, man. That's really what it is. You take it as I am,
Yeah.
Nothing, man. I'm just good friend, good family member. I just want to be a good individual, man. That's who Mike Perez is, I'm a hustler. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter, but if I have to, I will, But yeah, man, in a nutshell, Mike Perez is just one of those guys you want to have around,
I love it.
Yeah,
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So grew up in New York.
I was born and raised in New York.
Born and raised in New York.
Washington Heights.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like the movie.
Yes, yeah, man. Actually, there's a lot of exposure going on to Washington Heights lately, which I love because before it had a bad stigma. Now it's getting a little better. So yeah, man. Born and raised in Washington Heights to a Colombian mom, Dominican dad. Mm-hmm. Lived in Colombia for a while. I'm sure a lot of people know that. But yeah, man. Been all over the place. Been all over the East Coast, Virginia, everywhere, man. So
good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So in New York, Washington Heights, mom is
Colombian,
and dad is Dominican.
Dominican, yeah.
How was that growing up, having two different cultures in your household?
It was unique, man. Yeah, just even from just talking, the lingo from both Dominican parent and Colombian, it was always two sides, two cultures, that you kind of get accustomed to,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a unique experience. Now you see it a little more often, those mixes of cultures. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, Colombian Dominican wasn't really like that common. It was like oil and water.
Yeah. And they met where in?
They met in New York.
They met in New York.
Yeah, they were there very young. Met in New York.
That's crazy.
And the rest is history.
Now, when you speak Spanish, you speak Colombian.
I do. And when I lived in New York, I had a more Dominican type of accent. But thank God, when we moved out, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I do appreciate and I love the Colombian accent. The
Colombian.
Yeah. When I moved to Colombia and I lived in Colombia for a few years and finished high school there, that's where that Colombian Spanish, that paisa really got stuck to me. And ever since I've had it, man. Yeah.
And in New York, so you were in New York until what age, roughly?
12, 13.
12, 13.
Yeah.
So like middle school in Colombia,
Yes.
and then all the way to high school.
Yes.
And you graduated high school in Colombia.
And graduated high school in Colombia, man. Yeah.
So as I heard your podcast, the story, and it was like basically from all of a sudden living in New York, having all your friends and everything, all of a sudden they drop you the bomb that you're moving to Colombia.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was tough, man. Like, you tell me, dude.
Yeah.
You're 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
You have friends. You're established.
Yeah.
You know, you only know what you see.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, we're moving to another country, another language, another culture, another everything. No friends, new school. You know, it was crazy, dude. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made it work.
How did that shape you growing up? Like literally having two cultures at home, and then now going into a different culture, completely moving to a different country.
You know what, man? Like, the change was being in a third world country. Yes, it's not as advanced, but I think people hold on more to their culture, their roots. They're more prideful of where they come from. So you kind of learn that side. You kind of appreciate that culture. You appreciate just what it is to be in a third world country. You know what I mean? It humbles you. Yeah. You know, because you think you have everything here, because you have all the commodities, all the technology, AC. You have all those things that we take for granted sometimes, you know? And then you go to Colombia and you really see poverty. Yeah. You really see people living in shacks made out of cow dung. Wow. You know, you really see the other aspect of life. And those instances, really, when I was a kid, when I saw that type of poverty, man, I said, wow, I have it good. I have it good. You know, you appreciate life a little more too. No, absolutely. And I think every parent should have their child not necessarily move to a different country, but at least like see it. You know, I think seeing it. And you know what? I think every parent should also involve your kids in traveling. Yeah. Because fuck the whole Xbox and the PlayStation. Yeah, that's cool. And we want to give the kids things that we never had. Of course. But to be honest, when you take a child to travel and experience a different life, a different culture, different everything from food to the way people dress, that teaches them how to appreciate, you know, other places, other people, you know, and it helps them, or as a kid, you embrace that a little more. Yeah. So it opens up your mind, you know, and it's true. And I think that's super important, man. No, it's super. I mean, we took Gianfranco to Italy, and a couple of years ago, and you know, we walk in and all that stuff, and you know, I mean, the standard. We spoke to some of the locals, and we understood that the standard average person maybe has 2 pairs of jeans, 2 pairs of shoes, 3 shirts. Yeah. But they're experiencing real life, like culture. Yes. You know, and so we asked them, and we said, you know, if you could go back and have, you know, your Xbox, all this stuff, and that, or have just 2 pairs of pants, two pairs of shoes, but have all this culture experience, which would you pick? And he said, no, I'd rather have this. You see? Yeah, I'd rather have this. Look at the impact, and we don't know that sometimes. Yeah. But look at the impact, and he's what, 14? Yeah. And he went what, when he was 12? He was like probably 8 years old. 8 years old, 9 years old. Yeah. Look at that. 8 years old, 9. Yeah. So it really impacts a child, you know, of course, going somewhere else and experience a whole nother world. It's true. You know, and you really will appreciate what we have here. Yeah. No, it is. It's true. And going back to your story, 12, 13 years old, going to Colombia. So what did you tell your friends? Out in New York. I didn't have a lot of friends. I believe I had a handful of friends, but these were friends that we hung out every freaking day. We played ball every freaking day. Yeah. Some of them I slept over, even though it was New York and everybody freaking out. But, you know, I had those friends, and I'm like, guys, I'm out. Yeah. And I was hurt, man, because, you know, you're a kid. All you think about is playing and having a good time. Yeah. And when we had to go, it was almost abruptly. Yeah. So I said bye and left. How long was, when your dad said we're leaving until you left, how long was that? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? It was a month. A month. Yeah. So you had a month to say your goodbyes. To say my goodbyes, to hang out as much as I can, and done, man. And that's done. It. Yeah. It started from scratch over there. Sold everything and started from scratch, or? No. Well, my parents, they kept the apartment where we were in. Okay. but yeah, we left everything. We started from zero over there. We moved into a really nice neighborhood over there because now we have dollars. You know what I mean? Have dollars. And dollars and pesos, hey, it stretches. Yeah. So we had a really badass place to live. So those were little things that I was like, okay, I don't have friends. I'm not in New York, but I have all this, a nice posh,
And people don't know in the South American countries because the dollar goes so far, and there's ways to make money. Obviously, there's a poverty side of things, but then there's you bring in other money. But in South American countries, because I'm from Peru, you're in Colombia, you have maids. You have drivers.
Yeah. We had a life, being from New York, we didn't have that.
No, of course not.
We were lucky enough just having mom there, cooking and cleaning, But all of a sudden in Colombia, you have maids, chauffeurs, and everything you want, handed to you. So, yeah, definitely a big difference. Yeah.
A big difference. Yeah, no, absolutely. And the later part of your teens was and until adulthood was in Colombia. And you left Colombia in what year? I mean, not what year, but how old were you?
Well, 18.
18. Okay, yes. So right.
18 to 19, right when I graduated, we were supposed to, I was supposed to do a military service.
Oh, you?
Because when you graduate in certain third world countries, if you're the only male, you have to give a year of military service to the country. Yeah. So when that was happening, I'm like, I don't even do it here that they pay you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm definitely not going to do it over there. And there was a lot of guerrilla, a lot of narco stuff happening over there. So that's when I came back. That was in mid 90s, 96, 97. So it was heavy when it was in that time,
Yeah. So back to United States by yourself or your whole family came?
No, actually, I came by myself first. My dad was already in New York. So my dad, had picked me up. And a couple of months later, my mom was just selling the rest of the stuff and all that. And then they moved right after.
So back to New York.
Back to New York.
Back to New York. Yeah. Same Washington Heights, same apartment?
Yeah. Well, no, we went there, but we ended up, after having that lifestyle in Colombia, going to Washington Heights, it wasn't going to be digested very well. So we ended up going to Forest Hills, Queens, which is a little nicer area of New York. A little more, the Jewish people live there. It's a little more hoity-toity, So it's a little better, than Washington Heights. But eventually, we all ended up migrating down to Florida, dude.
Yeah. It was weather, everything, right?
Yeah, weather, the homes, the pricing and all that stuff back then. My parents were looking for homes to go to New Jersey. Because New Jersey, when you were in New York, New Jersey was like the best thing, you know what I mean? That's an upgrade, But homes are super expensive. Yeah. And eventually my dad had a couple of friends who were all thinking about making the move to Florida. So I think that's what initiated everything, was that my dad's friends were like, man, let's all go together. We have some connections down in Florida. So my dad said, fuck it, let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. And, you have to sometimes take that chance. And my dad is a very conservative person. So for him to make that move, it was tough, you know? But he doesn't regret it at all now.
No, of course.
He's good now. He's having a good time.
And so move back to Orlando.
Yes.
Orlando. So you've been in Orlando since then. Or little stints here and there, whatever.
But I had a time where when I came from Colombia, I lived in Miami. That's where I met the mother of my daughter. Okay. So I lived in Miami for a few years. And then when that didn't work out, then I left Miami, went to New York for the last time. And that's when from New York, I ended up going to Virginia.
Virginia for a little bit.
Virginia, and that's where I stayed there for a while, doing government subcontracting and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And so now we know you're a big real estate, you've been in real estate for a very long time. What got you before that into sales? What got you into sales? What drew you into sales, rather?
Dude, I've been doing sales all my life, man. I think my first jobs and stuff was all sales related. It was all commission based. Yeah. So it's more of I love sales. I love the negotiating. I love the finagling and I love that. I love that part of sales. So I did it for cars. I did it over the phone, selling phone service back in the day. And I did it for timeshare, you know. So as I progressed, I got older. Then I went from timeshare to, I already got a license.
Yeah.
Might as well let's do some real estate.
Some real estate. Yeah, you have a license, right?
And you feel better when you make a sale of real estate. It's a little more satisfying than timeshare.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Started that, and I believe I can work at my pace.
Yeah.
If I need more, I work more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I found myself, especially with sales jobs and like selling cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'll take your life.
Oh, yeah.
You're working 14, 15, 16 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
And that becomes your life, your job.
Which one was your worst sales job? Was it the cars?
I would say cars, man. Cars was good with the money, but the time, dude.
Oh, yeah. It took
like your whole time. Yeah, man. And even the people that were married, they eventually all got divorced, and I was seeing this, and it wasn't, and it was because they lived in the dealership and they didn't have no time for the family. So yeah, you made good money, but was the time to spend it or have a good time,
Yeah.
So I think those were one of the jobs that I kind of I like it, but it's not for me.
What kind of cars were there?
It was actually a Jaguar dealership.
Oh, nice. Yeah. In Virginia.
In Virginia, yeah.
Holy
it was
son.
Jaguar and high-end cars.
Yeah.
But it was mostly Jaguars.
Yeah.
The owner, that was his passion, was Jaguar cars. Mm-hmm. So he had a fleet of Jaguars, but when somebody would come with an Audi or Mercedes, they want to trade it in, I'll take it, and here you go, and now we're selling a Mercedes,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we did. I didn't work it wasn't a huge dealership. It was a smaller dealership.
Yeah.
It was 30, 40 cars, and the owner was a Egyptian dude, cool guy, a hustler, man. But But yeah, the cars was good, but not for me, dude.
Yeah, not for you.
Not for me. Yeah.
And now real estate, this is where you're at now. So
this is what I'm doing full time at the moment. Yeah.
And how has it been? You've been in it for about.
It's a roller coaster, dude, and like I said, I don't consider myself no superstar or anything like that because, I could be doing more, but what I like is just the freedom.
Freedom.
I like freedom. I give myself a decent life, and like I said, if I need more, I work more. If I'm good, I take it easy, and it's a job that you can pace yourself and you can actually enjoy a little more time if you do it right. You know what I mean? Because there are times when you first start this that you're so engulfed and so into it that everything is real estate. And it's good to be passionate. That you have to have passion for what you do. But there's also times where, man, that's not everything in life. You know what I mean? And the older you get, the more you realize, like, you can work a lot, make your money, but then
what?
Yeah.
What, right?
So I think that this gives me the freedom to, hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing what I need to do. Yeah. I have some money saved up. I can do some investing. The rest is just for me and the family, dude.
Yeah. Family's important.
The family time. Because I ignored my family for many years because I was so into my job.
Yeah.
Whether it was with timeshare, timeshare, your busiest time is high season, when everybody's on vacation, when everybody's off, when the kids are off. Except for timeshare salespeople, you are busting your ass when everybody's on vacation. Yeah. So a lot of times that I had a chance to maybe hang out with my daughter or my parents more or something, I couldn't. Yeah. Because I have to work. Yeah. So little things like that adds up, and you're like, damn, where's time going? My daughter's already grown. My parents are getting older, and here I am wasting all my time working. Yeah. So now this gives me that freedom to do what I have to do, but also gives me that time that, hey, let me put this on pause and let me enjoy some of the life that we have left.
That's it. Just gotta enjoy it.
Enjoy life, man. Yeah, man. That's what it is.
You have to enjoy it, and that's a very good lesson for all the entrepreneurs out there that are watching us. That it's good to hustle, it's good to have success, but do take the time.
It is, man. It is. And, and everybody, whatever job you do, you want to be the best at it. You want to be the millionaire. You want to make it to the top. Yeah. Yes, you do. But sometimes trying to make it to the top, you eliminate everything around you. Yeah. And all of a sudden you make it to the top, or you think you made it to the top, and you look around and you're like,
you're by yourself.
You're by yourself, dude.
Everybody left.
Yeah.
Everybody left. Your wife left, your kids left, everybody left.
Yeah, dude. You know, or time goes by, parents maybe passed away, you know. We all go through it, Yeah. But yeah, man, you start seeing that and you're like, man, you know, work is good and it's good to be passionate. It's good to go 100% or 200%.
There you go.
You know? But yeah, man, I really don't want to push myself to where it's all work, man. And it's all that work-life balance that everybody talks about. But everybody talks about work-life balance, but they don't do it. It's all work, work, work.
Yeah.
It just sounds good to say it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't do that work-life balance right.
Yeah.
You know?
I always say take one day. My days are Sundays.
Yeah.
Because Monday through Saturday is just grind.
You're 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and even Sundays, you know, if there's something to do, I don't actually go. I might be on the phone, but most of the time is out. You know, that's the time I go. You know, go to church with the family.
And this is something you learn. You know, there's something to learn because I know how you are, and as passionate as you are, and as many people that you've had under you and mentoring you and helping, it's hard. You know what I mean? And when I've seen you, you know, at the brokerage, you know, you were 100 miles an hour constantly. Yeah. And I know starting off, I know you didn't have no life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, it was always very important. But I think probably the last 3-4 years has been like, you know, you got to take the time.
A little more conscious about it.
Yeah, more conscious about taking the time. Yeah. Because before it was like 24/7.
Yeah.
And just like you said, things pass by you. And, you know, kids grow up fast.
Yeah, dude.
You know, I think I met you. My son was, I don't know, 4 years old.
Yeah.
Probably. Now he's 14 going on 15.
And then I remember, you know, carrying, you know,
Ari,
dude. And all of a sudden she's a little sassy little girl, you know. So time goes by, dude, man.
It does, so dude. Take the time. I always say entrepreneurs, take one day a week. Just relax. Turn that phone off. I actually got a second phone.
You see?
To turn one off and hopefully and do that. My wife will give me backstage. But just to kind of organize yourself. But, you know, that Sunday time has really helped me, at least, to just kind of unwind, relax. Yeah, man. And we were just talking before we recorded that, like we prefer to be home now. We don't,
man, there was times that we just wanted to hang out, pop bottles, remember the VIP, and have a good time, have something good to eat. But all of a sudden, things have changed, and like I said, there's nothing better than your castle.
Nothing better than castle.
You go home, relax, enjoy yourself, maybe a neighbor or two, but just being home feels so good.
Oh,
man.
yeah, it
really does, dude.
It does. We're always out, and we've, you know, shaped our, like you said, our castle, our home. Yeah. To entertain ourselves.
Yeah, you got a beautiful home. You have a pool.
And just enjoy it. We were the type of family that, you know, it was Friday. Hey, we're out. Where are we going?
Yeah.
And literally, no joke, we were at the movies every Friday before COVID.
Before.
At the movies. Like, it was Friday. We already knew we were going out to dinner and a movie every
Automatic,
Friday. Automatic. Saturday, dinner again. Yep. And when COVID hit and we were kind of forced to stay home, then that's where we said, wait a second. I have a backyard. Yeah.
I can do something here.
Yeah. Wait a second. We can, you know, actually, you know, have these nights out by the pool deck, which we never in. Back then, we had we were living in an older home and we had a pool. You've been to that house, and if we were in that pool once or twice a year, it was probably that's more. Yeah, that's what I can count, right? But with COVID, it was like, okay, now we have a pool, we have a place where we can grill, all this stuff. We're playing soccer in the backyard.
COVID groomed us a little bit, man.
It did completely. And I know we were working together at that time. You know, you were on the team and stuff like that. And it just those 2-3 months that we spent at home, you know, really understood. So after post-COVID times, which are now I was talking to Gia, we're 4 years out of COVID. Right? It's insane, going 4 years out. And, you know, we enjoy the time at home. And I don't know if because we're older.
Hey, that plays a part. You know, it plays a part.
You know what I mean? Like you said, we were used to be popping bottles 2-3 times a month.
Hey, if we could just sleep 4 hours, we were good. We were good for the next day. Now I need my full 8 hours. Dude.
Yeah, it's tough now. It's insane how things change. You know, I'm 42.
Yes.
You are 40.
45.
There you go. So 3 years old. But, you know, in the 30s, you know, late 20s, 30s, we wanted to go out. We wanted to go pop bottles. We want to be in the club. We want to be out till 2-3 in the morning. We want to go eat at the taco stand at 4 in the morning after the club. Now it's just like, I don't know. That doesn't call me anymore. It's just like,
we're growing up, man.
Well, I mean, you look at this stuff, man. This is the biggest scam at the club. The biggest scam. Yeah. Right? Yeah. This is probably costing wholesale for those people. I don't know. $25?
About
$25 wholesale, right?
And how much are they going for over there?
At the liquor store. You go to the liquor store, you're probably paying $60, right? At the club, $350.
Hey, but you're the man.
But you're the man, right?
You're the man.
That's what they sell you.
You're the man. We're overpaying for alcohol.
Right, that's it, right? Yeah. So it's just for a status, for a couple of hours of status.
That's it, dude. It's all a facade.
It's all a
smoke
facade,
and mirrors,
right?
dude. Yeah,
it's smoke and mirrors, right? So, and we were gladly getting ripped off every single time.
We were part of that show.
We were part of that show. But if you take a look at it, it's one of the biggest scams out there is buying a bottle at a club because you are like, you can just have this at home.
Yeah. And these are grown man conversations because when you're a kid, you're like I just spent $300 on a bottle. What's up?
Yes, exactly.
We're the man. Now you're like 300. Are you crazy?
Is he crazy? This is a $60 at the store and drink it at home. But these things have changed, But speaking about grown man, because I think we've both always been a fan of the concept of the gentleman.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what is your definition of a gentleman?
A gentleman is I would say it's just a person who's just a straight up shooter, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing to hide, face value. And it's just being a person that is just being genuine and just a respectful person, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just a person that gives respect, commands respect, and just tries to do the right thing. We all try to do the right thing, and sometimes we slip.
Yeah.
But being a gentleman is just try your hardest to do the right thing all the time.
That's it. That's
it, dude. That's it. I believe in karma, dude, and I haven't done nobody wrong. I don't have to look behind my shoulder for the past 30, 40 years. If somebody doesn't like me, it's just because they just don't like me. But I don't. But it's not because I did them wrong. You know what I mean? So I consider myself, that's gentleman-like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go into life and you don't got to worry about nothing because you didn't do nobody any wrong.
That's true.
There's
a lot of mindset, right?
It is, man.
Mindset. And I think about it as a whole entire package. So it's the mindset, again, knowledgeable, courteous, right? I said just, do things right. And then you have the package of dressing great. Yeah. Right now we're very casual.
We're casual, man. But you freaking take the cake, man. And you're a heavy influence to a lot of people, because even when I started the brokerage, you carry yourself a certain way. It was all an image, because it's also something that you have to portray as a leader, as a mentor, as a owner of a business, so you also carry that very well. And it kind of spread out to a lot of us. You know what I mean? You inspired a lot of us to do that. You know what I mean? Because like you said, gentleman is not just the attitude, but it's also how you groom yourself and all that other good stuff.
No, definitely.
It's just being all around a well-rounded individual.
Right. No, it's amazing. So dressing well, smelling great,
always
pocket square, drinking great spirits, good food, getting good food, and just being a well-all-around person. I think that's really good. I mean, that's what I always thought when I said, be a gentleman. Always, and I always like to say, always knowing what to say, what to wear, how to act in the situation that you're in.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't go to a wedding in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, just being aware of your surroundings.
And I've seen people do that. That's what I say.
Be aware of your surroundings and then adapt yourself to where you're at correctly.
Correct. And what advice would you give to those up and coming, in our audience space? Sometimes it's the young entrepreneur, people coming up and running in business.
Yeah.
Our goal here is if we can change somebody's life. I mean, I was telling you a couple of months ago.
And you have, dude. You've changed plenty of people's lives. Yeah. You gotta, you get your flowers when you should, and definitely you have, man. My life, a lot of people's lives you've helped, man, for sure.
Appreciate that. And like I said, if I could do that to one person that didn't know what to do or didn't know what guidance to take, I did my job. That's all it is. And what advice would you give those up and coming gentlemen out there that are up and coming trying to get into business?
Just be real. Be real to yourself. Be real with others. One big thing, especially in this business, but I think it applies for everything, is just don't compare yourself to nobody.
Yeah. Correct.
Comparison is the killer of joy.
Yep.
You compare yourself and you'll never be happy because there's always other people in different areas in their lives that you don't even know what what they did to reach where they're at.
Sad. Yeah.
But you're comparing yourself to other people, and you'll be miserable.
Yeah.
You will be miserable, especially because I learned this early on, because being in sales environment, you always want to one up.
Yeah.
You know, this guy sold 5, I need to sell 6. This guy made this volume, I need to double that.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, friendly competition and it's motivation, yes.
Of course.
But a lot of people compare themselves too much.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they find themselves thinking they're not enough. And all of a sudden they're just living their whole life thinking they're not enough. When in reality, they're doing what they're supposed to do. And your time is coming.
Yeah.
You know, just be consistent and just don't compare, dude. That's it.
Don't compare. And in fact, don't compare, because comparison can only bring you, I think, you know, down, because you say you're not enough, but then at the same time brings envy.
It does, man.
Yeah, brings envy.
You subliminally are making yourself a low-key hater in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Because, you can try to mimic somebody or try to reach a goal that another person has reached.
Yep.
But our stories are never the same.
Yeah.
Our lives, our cycles, our trajectories are never the same. So that's why I always tell people, don't compare yourself.
Yeah. No, it's the truth.
Yeah.
And change that comparison and that envy to actually happiness and wishing something like, great, that person achieved that.
Happiness and freaking gratefulness.
Gratefulness.
Dude. Just be grateful, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
Be grateful for the little things you have, for the big things you have, for everything, the good and the bad, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it gives you good vibes, good energy, and you'll magnetize for other great stuff.
Yeah, and other people around you as well.
Yes.
So that person that did better maybe in the task than yourself, you know, be happy for them. Hey, congratulations,
them.
Man.
Absolutely, dude.
Man, you're doing great.
Yes.
I will do 10 more like that. Do 10 more like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just keep it going. But that attitude in the workplace, the attitude within colleagues, I think is totally missing.
Absolutely, dude. No, you know, in this world, and everything is a competition. Everything is social media is trying to be better than the next. And a lot of us fall for that, you know? And like I said, the older you get, the more you kind of take a step back and look how social media makes us think and believe sometimes. Yeah. And dude, that's one thing is that comparison and you know, that's few things that I'm not very...
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What is one issue that entrepreneur men are dealing with currently that nobody talks about?
I would say more, and I'm seeing this brought to light a little bit more, is just mental health.
Mental health.
You know, I know people throw it around like whatever, but man, like men, especially back in the day, the 80s and 70s, and it was very macho. We had to be the macho guys, the tough guys, the hard workers, and you know, it's kept going like that for generations, to the point that we're men, we want to be providers, but we're still freaking human.
Of course,
just like women are. Yeah. We're still human. We still have feelings. We still have our good days and bad days, just like everybody. But sometimes showing yourself vulnerable or weak is frowned upon if you're a man. Mm-hmm. So little by little, I see that it's okay to not be okay. Right. You know what I mean? Because then you open yourself up to help. Yeah. To get help or for that advice. You know, sometimes we bottle things in and we're like, we're fine. Everything's cool. Everything's good. To be fine. Yeah. But nobody knows really what's going on. But if you actually open up a little, you never know if you have that little gem or that little piece of advice that can change my life. So why not just be open about how you feel? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because somebody might just say something or do a small act that it could just change the way you view life and get out of funk. Yeah. You know what I mean? So mental health is important, man, as a man, you know, because women, we all know women are emotional, which is good and bad, you know, but women are emotional. They carry the emotions a lot in their sleeves. And when something is wrong, they say it. And us as men, we're like, what's wrong? Let me fix it. You know, let me see what can I do to make it better. Yeah. But sometimes you don't have that as a man. Yeah. You know? That's the truth. Where you're like, hey, I feel this way, I want this, I want it. And all of a sudden, you looked at like a whiny guy. You know what I mean? Of course. And you don't want to be that that type of guy, you know. But I think mental health is something we gotta keep in check.
We have to.
And like I said, it's okay to not be okay, man. You know?
No, I mean, anxiety. People deal with anxiety
all the time.
People deal with again, self-esteem. A lot of men,
absolutely, dude. Yeah,
and they don't talk about it. Yeah. And it's very important now for us men to talk about it.
Yes,
you know what I mean. To talk about it because we're supposed to be, like you said, portrayed as the macho man, and we're not.
Yeah, and we are. Shit, I can still kick ass if I have to. But man, if I'm feeling like shit, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say I feel like shit. I feel down. You know, I gained a few pounds. I don't feel good. Yeah, clothes don't fit right. Yeah, you know. It's okay. You know what I mean? Just don't bottle it in, you know, just be real. You know what I mean?
Talk.
Yeah, man. So, and self-esteem issues that men don't talk about, cause it's a bad stigma. You know?
Of course.
But nah, man, it's okay to just open up. Yep. You know, we're still humans, you know?
Yeah, we are. That's it. Yeah. And just talk. If you're going through any of the stuff that we just mentioned, talk to somebody. Yeah. And don't let it bottle up inside and just get worse as the time goes by.
You have friends and families that have gone or experienced like suicide and stuff like that. And then you kind of dig in and find out why or this and that. Oh, this person was going through this and that. And all of a sudden, people around that person like, shit, if that person could have just given me a call or said something, opened up a little bit, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Yeah. So that's why I think opening up, whether you're a man, woman, whatever.
Just open up.
Just talk it out,
Talk it out.
I know, maybe you shouldn't do it with anybody.
Right.
But there's people in everybody, and there's circles around you that are willing and able to listen and give some encouraging words, Yeah.
We have to be there for each other. Whoever's around you, just make sure they're okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Diddy.
Did he do it?
Did he do it?
Or did he not?
So what are your thoughts? So this is crazy.
Man, this messed up my childhood, bro. I swear to God, man.
It was rumors for a couple of years. And I was like,
there's always been rumors, dude. Yeah. Always. But you're like, no, not Diddy. Come on. Come on. Diddy. This guy, the hit maker, you know. Yeah. Even myself, when I was early 20s, I would say, man, if I could only make it to one of those Diddy parties. I'll take that back, dude. I take it back.
Wow.
But, man, it's interesting, man. And like I said, my whole childhood has changed.
It's changed, right?
Yeah, because, man, I don't see him now the way that I used to see him before. Yeah. Whether it's true, because right now it's called allegations.
Yeah, allegations.
But man, everything is sticking too much. You know?
It's a little tough, and it's. I always just kind of look back and look at the situations, and I shot a reel not too long ago, and I said, no matter what in business, right, you could be the most successful, and especially people like that have all the money in the world. You can get lost in the dark side.
Hell yeah.
In the dark side.
Yes.
I'm talking about crazy dark side.
And when there's success, there's opportunities of all kinds coming to you. Yep. And if you get greedy, you might go into the opportunities of other things that might require you to do things that you never wanted to
do. Exactly.
And it gets ugly. You know? And that's another thing. That's why you always got to be a good person, dude.
Yep.
No matter how much freaking money you have.
Always be a good person.
Because it's going to bite you in the ass sooner or later. So, like I said, that's when I say I don't have to look behind my shoulder. Yeah. Because there's somebody there. Yeah. Have a clean conscience, dude. Yeah. And, my man made hits. Yeah. I jammed and bought all his records and bad boy this, bad boy that. But it seems like my man wasn't a good guy from the beginning. Who knows? But from right now, it's just not looking good, bro.
Good, hell no. Don't get lost. And I've always said money's an amplifier. If you were a great person, you'll be a better person. Yeah. If you're an asshole, you're going to be a bigger asshole.
Right? That's really, it exposes who you really are.
It's an amplifier of your true personality. Yep. And, that's why, $1 million in somebody's hand and $1 million in a different person's hand is going to go different ways. Yes. Yes. It's just paper. Yes. It's paper. It's an amplifier. Yes. But one can do damage. One can do well. You know what I mean? So, from a man Diddy, it's like, I don't know. Did he get lost? Did he get lost into this mix,
I'm going to pray for you, man. I'm going to pray for you,
Diddy. Let's pray for Diddy, man. Let's pray for Diddy. We have to. Oh my God, man. So Gente Podcast, we're excited for you. It's an amazing journey so far.
Yes.
You having some great guests. I mean, we've had some great conversations.
Yes.
And I know you're gonna have some amazing guests coming through.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Just starting. So, just getting all those jitters and those amateurish type of things, but slowly and surely I'm getting the hang of it. I've gotten great response.
Yeah.
A lot of people has identified with it, which is pretty cool. They call me, cool. Man, I didn't know this about you, man. And
that's good.
It's been great to see you in a different light. And, so it's awesome, man. A lot of people have called me relating to the way I've lived. And they're like, man, I did the same damn thing, So it's cool, man. It's been a good experience.
No, and the people that you don't think, like, even to this day, even this podcast was just going on, I think, 2.5 going on 3 years now. And there's I talked to another realtor that I've known him for over 10 years. Yeah. I had no clue I personally haven't talked to him in 10 years. And when I spoke to him a couple of days ago for whatever it was, he was like, "Oh man, I've been watching your stuff for the past couple of years. I'm in the podcast," and I was like, "I had no clue he was watching."
Yeah, man.
People are watching, but it does. The storytelling and everything that we were doing, hopefully changes the aspect of somebody that can relate.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that can relate.
And people always hating, podcast this, podcast that.
You gotta do it right.
Then you do it.
Then you do it. Right?
Then you do one. You know what I mean? But everybody talks about this and that. Do it. We do it because it feels good.
It feels great.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels good. You're helping other people get exposed. Yeah. You expose yourself. So there's no harm in that. You know what I mean? They always have the people talking crap like always, But hey, it's been fun and I love it.
And especially with social media now, how much reach we have to unlimited resources and people all around the world.
It's the new age thing, and us older folks gotta ride that wave. You know what I mean? Or else we left behind.
I love it. And my final question is, what do you want the world to remember Mike Perez for?
Man, I just want them to know, like, damn, Mike was that guy that made me laugh, made me feel comfortable. That's a guy I can count on. You know what I mean? I just want to be known as a good person, dude. That's it. That's do good. Not the person that made a bunch of money, not the broke person, not the person. Just that cool ass guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? He made me laugh. He was a great guy, and then God bless him, and he rest in peace, type of thing. But that's what I want to be known for, man.
That's awesome.
That's it. Just being a good guy, dude.
And I think it's always been your purpose, man. I think just doing good in any situation that I think we've seen, whether it be with a client or whether it be outside. I think you've always been a good person.
I try.
And that goes in. And that's the purpose that you have. And that's the purpose that God has for your life, is to continue bringing that good to people out there. I think I've always believed that.
Amen, bro. Amen.
You know what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
And keep growing, in every aspect of your life, man. So cheers to you.
Yes.
On
cheers.
this amazing.
Cheers.
And cheers to you for catching our this latest episode of the 200% Life podcast. Keep on watching on all of our channels and subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you next time on the 200% Life podcast. 200%.
Salud.